We've got some tips for the phones, particularly for scheduling appointments for your first weekend. Now, when it came time to line up my first few appointments, obviously I did not just call people and say, hey, do you want to buy some knives from me? We can do a little bit better than that. So these are going to be super helpful, not just for lining up demos, but just learning good phone techniques, because that's an important communication skill to have, particularly in the modern business world. If you actually go on the My Vector Demo website, you're going to click on the phoning tab and you'll see our phone tips right here. Let's get a chance to go through these together. So you'll see on here, it says your success during your first week will be determined by the quantity of Mac appointments you do. It's a numbers game. More Mac appointments always equals more sales. And obviously, do your best to show your best 5 customers first. So first off, it says don't overemphasize Cutco on the phone. The purpose of your call is just to line up a time to meet with them. Cutco's amazing, but they won't get it till they really see it. So don't try to feel like you need to sell them on the product when you're first talking to them. Now, you always want to speak directly to the person that you want to schedule with. For example, when you're seeing your friend's parents, you need to talk directly to your friend's parents. I know you love your friends. A lot of your friends are super dumb. My friends are dumb too. So it is very important though, because again, you don't want to cut corners. They're not always going to say the right things. They won't do as good a job as you. And I want you to have that experience of reaching out to them. Don't text to set up appointments. Texting, I know it might be easier when you're reaching out to your friends, but it's just considered less professional. I'll text my buddies. I would not text someone to set up a Cutco demo. It's just not the most effective thing. You always want to speak with the wife on the phone. Not only are they kind of that target market, but even in a family where the husband does all the cooking, husbands will very rarely make decisions for things in the kitchen without some input from their wife. So it is always better to make sure you try and get her on the phone as well. Stress the fact it's not a question of buying or selling. Plenty of people say, hey, you can come over, I'm not going to buy anything. And your answer to that should be the same 100% of the time. Hey, that is okay. I get paid anyway. I need as many appointments as possible. So it's still a really huge help. And you just say that with a big smile on your face because it's the truth. Always give a choice of 2 times. We talked about that before, why it's really, really important. Not just 2 days, and they need to be specific times. Hey, Mrs. Jones, I need 2 more appointments to hit my goal for Friday evening. I wanted to see if maybe 5:30 or 7 p.m. would be any better for you. That's the key to doing it effectively, and that's what's going to get you what you need. Not, when can I show you, or do you want to see my presentation? None of that stuff. Just make sure you really lock it down and give them exact times. It's going to make a huge difference. Give yourself 90 minutes for your first presentations. You're seeing people you know, they want to catch up with you, and it always takes a little longer when you're new. So just give it some breathing room, and over time, you'll kind of see what your individual cadence and rhythm is. Not everyone's going to answer their call. Use the 4-to-1 rule. And what that means is for every 4 phone calls you make, on average, about 1 person will pick up. Now, sometimes it's higher than that. That is, of course, an average. Sometimes you'll call 4 people and 3 of them will pick up. And sometimes you'll call 6 people and it feels like no one picks up. That's okay. But I promise you, it's going to average out to about 4-to-1. Now, that means that if you want to schedule 5 appointments, make 20 calls. 10 appointments will be 40 calls. So if you brought 20 names and numbers with you here to training today, call those people, and I bet we get our first 5 appointments booked up. If no one picks up, it is okay to text them, but you still have to try and call them first. So that text can just go, hey, Mrs. Jones, this is Amy Carter's son. I had a really quick question. Are you available? That's the right way to text, but you shouldn't do that until you've already tried to call them first. Cutco owners are amazing. Always schedule appointments with Cutco owners. That's a very good thing, and we'll talk a little more tomorrow in training about how to sell and really take great care of our Cutco owners. Now, call in waves. Customers are at home at different times of the day or night, so you want to split up that phone time. Our first wave is going to be here today. We're going to make calls in a little bit, and we're going to help you before training is even over, get your first 3, 5, 6 appointments lined up. The 3 waves will generally get you a full schedule. So you think about it like this. If you even just averaged 3 appointments per wave, you did 3 waves, well, that would get you up to 9 appointments. So the first wave we'll do here, second wave will be tonight as one of your assignments, and then that third wave we'll bang out in training tomorrow together. Phoning equals working. Sometimes, again, when people are new, the phones make them a little bit nervous just because it's new. But I can tell you it's one of the most useful business skills that you're ever going to acquire. So if you feel a little bit of those nerves when you're new, I just want to tell you right now, that's okay. Just put yourself in a professional space, grind through it, and just go to town. It's like working out, y'all. If I work out after it's been a few months or I haven't been taking good care of myself, the next day I might feel a little bit sore, all right? Well, that's just feedback. It's all about what interpretation do I have of that? I could do one of two things with that information. The first thing I could say is, wow, I'm a little sore. I really let that muscle group go. I need to keep working on it to develop it so it's stronger, and that way I'm not so sore in the future. Okay, that's like the mature takeaway from that. The other takeaway is, oh my gosh, I'm sore. I'll never do that again. I'll just not ever work out. That's not really the mature takeaway, and it's no different than on the phones. So I just want to tell you now, if you get a little nervous when you make that first couple calls, that's okay. It just means that you're developing those muscles, you're acquiring a new professional skill set, that you're going to be so well suited in the future for it. Make sure that you focus on urgency. Let customers know you're committed to your goal. You do have a deadline. Let them know, hey, I'm really trying to set up these 2 appointments for tomorrow after I finish training. It'd mean the world to me if I could see. I promise it's going to be a lot of fun. Boy, would 5:30 or 7 be any better for you? That's the way to do it, where it's really fun, it's really positive, but it's stressing your goal and creating urgency. And then importance, y'all. Let them know how much the demo matters for you. If you do that, they're much more likely to see you right away, and they won't reschedule on you.